Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to the Rebel Pastor YouTube channel. Pastor Sky over here in South Korea right now. Hope you guys have enjoyed and had an amazing week. If it is your first time or you've been here a while but you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe, click that like button, notification bell, comment, share, do all these things so we can spread this channel to the people that really need it. Our goal right now is to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark, and I hope that we can do this together. And very grateful for all the supporters out there, and also most thankful for those that are praying for this channel too. For I believe, as a person of faith, that is the greatest thing we can do, is to reach and cry out to God to help us in these matters. If you'd like to support this channel, go ahead. Right in the description below, we have buymeacoffee.com. I am an avid coffee drinker. You can support this channel one cup of coffee at a time. Now, today's topic. Now, it's kind of weird because I'm now in my office, right? I'm in a completely different, I'm not wearing the hoodie I'm normally wearing. But something happened last night and it brought about today's topic. So last night, what was I forget what I was doing last night, but all of a sudden I just had this sharp pain in my mouth and I was like, what is going on? It was just throbbing. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if you can see this, but right here, if you can see there, it's swollen right now. Like, it's inside my mouth, it's swollen, right? And I was like, I looked in the mirror, I was like, oh my goodness, it's swollen. Like, what's going on? So right away this morning, I went to the dentist's office and they're like, oh, like, part of the tooth, the root part, got to cut it off because it's like a little bit rotten and it's infecting your gums. I was like, oh no. So that's why it's all swollen right now. My mouth, my right side of my mouth, this is why I'm talking a little bit weird and I kind of have a little bit of a lisp, right? I'm still like, it's still numb. It's still numb because I'm coming straight from the doctor's office and I have to catch up on the work. And if I don't get, I know that I'm going to be here really late. So I'm not going to have time to record this later. So I'm coming right after the dentist's office and it's odd. It hurts. There was a lot of blood today and stuff. I was like, ugh, right? So I had to just, after the dentist, I went straight home, got my hat. I forgot to bring my my Rebel Pastor sweater and stuff like that too. But this is why I'm recording in this type of situation right now. Now, today, I want to reach the topic on justice, God's justice. Like, God rules over the entire world, and God has his justice for all people. And here's something that I thought that was quite interesting because it comes from this experience of going to the dentist. Because here I am, I am working for God. I'm working in a church. I'm working for churches. I'm helping out people of faith. So I'm doing the life of faith, right? I'm doing the things that I should do for God. And then all of a sudden I get this toothache and I realize I go to the dentist. I'm like, oh, why am I in pain? And then they're like, you got to cut this off and put on a crown. It's going to cost you this much money. I'm just like, oh, I'm like, God, why? I'm just like, here I am doing your work. I believe in you. And I am doing the things that you want me to do. And yet I have to go through this and pay more money and do this and that. And I'm like, God, if you rule over all things, then why does this happen to someone like me who is a believer, right? And, this kind of brought me back, I was kind of in a little bit of an emotional state because I'm like, wow, that's expensive kind of thing. I was like, oh, why do I need to go through this? But, when I calm down and I come back to reasoning, I always bring myself back to what does the words of God say? And that's why today I want to talk about what is the greatest law of God's justice, right? So God does rule the world. God does rule over all things. God does pay back. God gives to everyone, right, what they deserve. And that is just. And that is justice. That is fair. But when we look at the world, sometimes it's like, wow, is that really fair? God, when I see these people prosper, when I see these people not prospering, and especially when we kind of add in faith as in, look at these people of faith not prospering but suffering. Look at these people not of faith but succeeding and wealth and getting this and that. I'm like, wow, God, sometimes when we are in that state of mind, we begin to complain or we think to ourselves that maybe is God really ruling over this world? And is it really that just and fair? And that's why today I want to talk about the greatest law of God's justice, right? God is the creator, ruler of all things. And one of the things that he has done to help us to understand what is fair and what is not fair or what is just is God installs laws into this world. right? And even if God never gave the 10 commandments, we still see laws in the world. Just like people who learn how to farm. Farming wasn't something that we just picked up and we had the knowledge. We had to learn from experience. Oh, it needs water. Oh, it needs fertile soil. Oh, it needs more sunlight. And because of these things, we're learning God's laws of how this world actually works. And in the same way too, God gives us laws through the prophets, through the people that God sends, through Jesus Christ. And through those laws, we learn, these are the laws that bring justice into the world, right? Now, here's the thing. If we don't understand, if we don't truly understand God's laws, if we don't really understand it, but we kind of only look at it from a very narrow point of view, like, for instance, if I have faith, I should succeed, and if I don't have faith, I should not succeed. If you look at it from a very, very narrow perspective, it's very, very easy to misunderstand God and even more be tested in your faith, right? Because, I'm sure all of us done this once in our life. Why do they prosper when they don't believe in God? Why am I suffering when I do believe in God? Why don't things work out? And this law that I want to share with you guys today, which is God's greatest law of justice, and something that we need to understand, not just what it says, but truly understand what it means, is in Revelation chapter 22, verse 12. And it says, "Look, I am coming soon. My reward is with me, and I will give to each person according to what they have done." Right? This is the ultimate law of justice, right? You will get according to what you have done. Everyone gets according to what they have done. This is justice. It is a law that applies both in heaven and on earth. Now, when you're like, okay, everyone gets according to what they've done. But when you look at the world, it's like, really? Is that real justice when we see wicked people or unrighteous people who don't have faith, people who don't believe in God succeed in this? Is that really justice? And there are a lot of times when we look in the world and we don't see justice. And we look and see people who don't believe in God and don't have faith, and sometimes wicked and evil, or sometimes normal, good people, but they just don't believe, but they're super successful. Look at all the rich people in the world. Are they all believers? And the answer is absolutely not. Look at all the countries in the world. Are they all righteous Christian countries? And the answer is no, they're not. But yet some of them are still wealthy. Some of them are still doing well. And sometimes it makes us question God, especially when we go through suffering and when we see others don't or not go through suffering. Is it fair? Is it just? And the answer is the greatest law of justice, which is you get according to what you've done. Your belief is not the basis for whether you succeed or fail in this world. In this physical world, it is governed by physical rules and physical laws. So what is just? What did God install? God says that if you do something, you should gain from it. That's you do, you get, right? You get according to what you've done. So let's put it this way. Regardless if you believe or not, if you are someone who really works hard, like I'm someone who works in social media, right? And imagine someone works so hard, studies the algorithm, finds out what people want, and then what do? They make a ton of money from it. Is that just? And the answer is absolutely. Because you get according to what you've done. So if you focus on physical things, you will gain physical things. It doesn't matter whether you believe in God or not. You are getting according to what you've done. If I work hard and only focus on social media, then my channel will get better faster. Why? That's according to what I have done. But this is something that I do on the side when I actually have another full-time job that I'm doing at the same time. This is why I'm here at my office, right? If you work hard to become a lawyer, you become a lawyer. If you work even hard, you become one of the best lawyers. If you work hard as a doctor, you'll be rewarded for being a great doctor. Now, here's the thing. If you think about this, if we truly, truly believe, think about this, all of you guys out there, if we really believed, if we have that literal, we totally 100% believed your success is dependent upon your faith, right? That only those who believe will be successful. Only those that have great faith can be successful in this world. Then think about this. If you had cancer, okay, is the first thing you're looking for is find me a Christian doctor? Or are you going to be like, no, find me the best cancer doctor? What's the first thing that matters to you, right? You're looking for the one who has achieved and done the best in that area. We don't think twice about it, right? Faith is not, like, think about that. If you really thought about it, if we really believe that those with faith are the best, then we would never go and buy anything or get any services from people who did not have faith, because we truly believe only people of faith do the best. But we don't really believe it. You could tell, because look at who you buy from. Look at who you get services from. You get it from non-Christian, non-faithful companies all the time. And if you meet a doctor that has faith, it's not because of the faith you chose them. It's just a bonus. You're like, oh, I just found you, and great, you're a Christian. Me too. This is awesome. It's a bonus, not a determining factor. We're living on this earth, and to be successful on this earth, it goes by the law you get according to what you have done. It's those that strive to be the best on this earth will be the best on this earth, and they'll receive accordingly. They'll become the best doctors, the best lawyers, the best constructors, the best whatever it is, social media, YouTubers, right? That is justice. You get according to what you have done, and that is absolutely fair. Now, if we were to flip it, what is the best example of what is not fair? Well, it would not be fair if you focused your whole life on physical things and then God gave you spiritual salvation. That is not fair, because since you focused on physical, you gain physical things. But you should not gain the spiritual things, because that is not fair. If you focus on the physical, whether it's working hard, cheating, stealing, breaking the law, or doing things in a wrong way, you're going to gain in that area. And I'm sure all of us would agree with this, and we understand, that's why people are successful regardless if they have faith or not. Why? Because they're focused on those things. But then, if we really understand that, what is fair? Okay. If I believe, so then this makes sense now. If you focus on the physical, then you should gain physical. If you focus on the spiritual, you should gain the spiritual. Which means we should also acknowledge that if we only focus on spiritual things, we will only gain spiritual things. Which means it does not guarantee that your life will be physically successful and you'll gain a lot of money and wealth just because you're doing spiritual things and you love God. Just because you believe in God doesn't mean you'll be rich and wealthy or you'll be successful in this world. Your faith saves your spirit, and your action in this world will help your body. So in order for someone to do well in both physical and spiritual matters, you need to do both, right? You need to do both spiritual and physical things to gain, which brings me back to my dentist, right? Here I am complaining that, oh God, I'm working so hard for you, but why am I having this toothache? And the answer is, I just realized I haven't been to the dentist in like 2 years. Which means because I don't do the physical things, I suffer in the physical things. But here I am complaining like, God, here I am with faith and I did all this for you, but how come I'm hurting here? And God's like, you didn't get a checkup, right? You haven't got a checkup in 2 years. What are you doing, right? And the doctor's kind of looking like, all right, you should have got this checked up, a while back kind of thing. This brings me to this last verse I want to share with you today, which is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 23, which says, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Yeah, I can say all I want, like, oh, I have faith, I have this and that, but that's not going to help my teeth. I can just say, oh God, please help my teeth. But what does God want me to do? He wants me to go to the dentist. Mere talk leads only to poverty. If you want to be successful in the spiritual realm, which is our ultimate goal for those of faith, we got to work hard in the spiritual things. But if you don't do anything for your physical and you only think spiritually, how can you complain to God and say, why am I not successful? Why am I not wealthy? Why am I not rich? It makes absolutely no sense. Why? God gives according to what you have done. You focus on the physical, you gain physical. You focus on the spiritual, you gain spiritual. And sometimes we just need to readjust our hearts and our minds, like I had to do this morning, and I'm like going, Sky, you gotta think more reasonably, right? So I hope that this is something that helps you guys out and helps you to understand what it means to get according to what you've done. And God is the ultimate God of justice. And this is the greatest law of justice, is you get according to what you've done. Hey, why are they physically rich? Because they worked hard in that area. Because they gained from that area. That's what their focus is. Hey, do I know about their spirit? I don't know. I don't. But as people of Christ and people of God, I would say that our goal is not to just strive and only be the greatest spiritually, but we should be in both areas. We should be very, very balanced. And I hope it's something that, it'll kind of realign your heart and your mind, that when we get to those moments like, oh, why is it like this? And God's like, you haven't gotten a checkup in 2 years. I'm like, all right, you got me. Right? So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Hope you guys have an amazing and awesome week. Have any questions or anything else, pop it in the comments below. Would love to hear from you guys too. All right? Enjoy, and see you guys again next week. This is Pastor Sky signing off on the Rebel Pastor YouTube channel. Bye-bye.
Rebel, never settle, I raise the level. It's time to go, sky's the limit, it's me against the world. Rebel pastor,